Right then, this has to be said. Stop bringing your European and American legal arguments to a Bangkok boardroom because, frankly, the Thai Minister of Interior is not listening. You might think Western precedents matter here, but your entitlement stops at the border. In this video, we expose why Thai sovereignty will never bend to the standards of Brussels. We are diving into why the Minister of Interior views Western immigration logic as completely irrelevant to Thai law. Grab a cup of tea or something stronger and let us have a word. Picture this. You are sitting in a government office in Bangkok, sweating through your best shirt, clutching a folder full of perfectly translated documents. You have your European Court of Human Rights citations ready, maybe a bit of American due process jargon tucked away for good measure. You are prepared to argue your case like a barrister at the Old Bailey. Besides, the officer across the desk, he is wondering if you would prefer green or red curry for lunch. Here is the uncomfortable truth that expats across this kingdom refuse to accept. Citing Brussels or the European Court of Justice is a conversational dead end when dealing with Thai bureaucracy. It is as if bringing a map of London to navigate the backsoys of Udon Thani or Ubon Ratchathani. Completely useless and slightly embarrassing. Have you ever wondered why the Thai Ministry of Interior seems utterly indifferent to what you consider your rights? I will tell you why. The European Union spends its time fretting about standardized integration, humanitarian intake quotas, and social safety nets. They have frameworks for everything: human rights commissions, appeal processes, judicial reviews. Yet it's all terribly civilized and utterly irrelevant here. The Thai Ministry of Interior operates on a different planet entirely. Their mission is not integration, it is preservation. National preservation, to be precise. They are not interested in whether you feel included in Thai society. They are interested in whether you pose a threat to Thai sovereignty. Let me paint you another picture. However, before I do that, it is disclaimer time. The facts speak for themselves. It is not my autobiography or anyone else's. The voice is my own, but the images are AI generated. Now, with that out of the way, try to understand this. Thailand's approach to borders is not some modern invention. It is woven into the very fabric of the nation's identity. The state views border control as a function of monarchy and national security, not as some bureaucratic inconvenience for digital nomads. This is not Brussels. This is Bangkok, and the rules are written in Thai for Thais. The Ministry of Interior does not view your residency as an earned right. They do not see it as a social contract where you pay taxes and they give you privileges. No, no, no. They view it as a revocable privilege, one that can be withdrawn the moment you become inconvenient. Now, I can already hear the protests from the expat community. But what about fairness? What about due process? To which the ministry responds with a bemused smile and another stamp on your file. Because here is the thing about 2026 enforcement trends. Discretionary power by local officers overrides any fairness arguments you might have borrowed from Western courts. If a local official decides you have been a bit too vocal on social media, or you have annoyed the wrong person at the local immigration office, Your visa status can change faster than the weather in April. Now, let us shift from philosophical sovereignty to cold, hard pragmatism. Whom does the Thai government actually want within its borders? Besides, more importantly, whom do they not want? Thailand has made its position remarkably clear in 2026. Between January and May alone, authorities denied entry to nearly 30,000 foreigners, or so it has been reported. Numbers do vary. However, think about that number for a moment. 30,000 people stopped before they even boarded a plane, all thanks to the no entry, no stay, no escape strategy. The system works like this. The Advanced Passenger Processing System, the APPS, screens everyone before departure. Currently, there are 169,506 names on Thailand's blacklist, a database which includes criminals, immigration violators, and anyone subject to Interpol arrest warrants. If your name is on that list, you are not getting on the plane. Simple as that. The no stay pillar has been equally ruthless. Authorities have already revoked 668 fraudulent student visas. Those educational visas people were using to work illegally while pretending to study. What's more, over 14,000 overstayers and illegal workers have been arrested and processed for deportation. Compare this to the European model. Europe talks about humanitarian intake, about protecting the vulnerable, about social safety nets. Thailand talks about high net worth individuals and targeted labour. They are not running a charity, they are running a country. The digital nomad visas, the LTR program, the destination Thailand visa, these are not invitations for permanent settlement. They are filters for capital. They are designed to attract people who will contribute economically without becoming a burden. Take the long-term resident visa, for instance. If you want 10 years of residency, you need to demonstrate an annual income of at least 80,000 US dollars or 40,000 US dollars with a master's degree or significant intellectual property. The government fee? 50,000 baht. They are not making it easy and they are not pretending to. The destination visa is more accessible, just 500,000 baht in liquid funds, and that still works out to around £11,000. Besides, here is a kicker. If you stay more than 180 days in Thailand, you might be liable for Thai tax on your global income. The welcome mat is there, but it has a price tag attached. Now, let me tell you about the daily reality of living under this system, because it is one thing to understand the philosophy, it is another to live through the bureaucracy. Picture me, a grumpy old Englishman, trudging to the immigration office for my 90-day report. The queue stretches around the block. The paperwork has multiplied since last time. Besides, there is always something missing: a signature, a copy, a photograph with the correct background colour. Many people cry, but that is mainly hearsay. You do know what the Ministry of Interior thinks about your complaints about efficiency and transparency. They think you are entitled. Besides, you know what? They are probably right. The Western expectation of digital transformation, of one-stop shops, of user-friendly government services, these are nice ideas, but they are not priorities here. The priority is control. The system is designed to be slightly inconvenient because inconvenience is a feature, not a bug. It separates the people who are genuinely committed to staying from those who are just passing through. The Western entitlement trap is real, and I have seen it swallow dozens of expats. They arrive thinking their passport, their education, their Western values grant them special treatment. They protest inconsistencies in the system. They file complaints. They write angry letters. Then their visa renewal is denied. Or worse, they find themselves on that blacklist I mentioned earlier. You do not get to protest your way to policy reform here. This is not France. There are no general strikes for immigration reform. If you push too hard, you get pushed out. The system does not bend to your sense of justice because the system does not care about your sense of justice. Right then. Enough with the doom and gloom. Let us talk about how to survive this. Because contrary to what you might think, it is possible to live here peacefully. You just need to abandon your Western expectations. You know, that moment when you have been standing in the immigration queue for 3 hours and the officer takes a phone call and you are certain they have forgotten about you. Then they smile, stamp your passport and send you on your way. That moment, that is the moment you need to understand. You have not been disrespected. You have been processed. Besides, in Thai bureaucracy, processed is success. Here is the roadmap for navigating the Ministry of Interior. First, find yourself a local network. I do not mean a WhatsApp group of complaining expats who gather at the pub to share war stories. I mean genuine local connections, neighbours, business associates, someone who speaks the language and understands the culture. They can guide you, translate for you, and sometimes, if you are lucky, make a phone call that smooths your path. Second, quiet compliance over public grievance. When the officer asks for an extra document, just get it. Do not argue about how you already submitted it. Do not lecture them about administrative efficiency. Just smile, nod, and get the damn document. Third, remember that you are a guest. I know this is a cliche, but the cliche exists for a reason. This is not your country. You do not have a right to be here. You have a privilege, and privileges can be revoked. Fourth, keep your head down. The 2026 enforcement trends show that authorities are actively looking for foreigners who abuse the system. The no escape pillar means that they are sharing immigration data with local police and conducting intelligence-led raids. If you are a legitimate resident going about your business, you have nothing to worry about. However, if you are pushing boundaries, you are inviting trouble. Let me be brutally honest for a moment. That quiet hope you are holding on to, the hope that Bangkok would eventually mirror the administrative spirit of Europe, it is time to let that go. Thailand's approach to immigration is not going to become more Western. If anything, it is becoming less so. The 2026 crackdowns, the tightened screenings, the focus on high-value visitors, these are not temporary measures. They are structural changes driven by a government that sees foreign presence as a security concern as much as an economic opportunity. Even the Thai elite card, that golden ticket for the wealthy, is under scrutiny. The People's Party has called for a comprehensive review, warning about regulatory loopholes being exploited by grey capital and transnational criminal networks. They want tougher screening, regular reviews, and stricter enforcement. So, if you're here thinking you will eventually be treated like a local, forget it. You are here thinking your citizenship or your education gives you special status, forget that too. If you are here thinking you can argue your way to fairer treatment, you will be blacklisted before you finish your sentence. However, here is the secret that nobody tells you. Once you stop fighting the system, once you stop expecting it to be fair, once you accept that you are a temporary guest in a sovereign nation, life gets easier. You stop being angry all the time. You stop feeling victimized. You start to appreciate the things that actually matter. The food, the weather, and the people who smile even when they are telling you no. True integration in Thailand is not about becoming Thai. It is about understanding your place. It is about contributing without demanding. It is about accepting that the rules are written for Thais and you are an afterthought, a tolerated, sometimes even welcome, but always conditional presence. Now, before I wrap up this grumpy old man's sermon, as I do want to hear from you. Now, have you ever tried citing European law in a Thai government office? How did that work out? Share your immigration horror stories in the comments below and perhaps without the anger. Furthermore, if you have cracked the code, if you have found the secret to navigating Thai bureaucracy without losing your mind, I am all ears. Like and subscribe if you have ever stood in a queue for 3 hours only to be told you need another photograph. You could even ring that bell for a dose of reality served British style in the heart of Isaan. Nevertheless, I will leave you with this. The Thai Ministry of Interior does not care about Brussels. They do not care about Strasbourg. They do not care about your rights, your precedents, or your sense of justice. However, you know what they do care about? That you follow the rules, that you do not make trouble, that you contribute to the economy without threatening the sovereignty. They care that you understand your place. Besides, if you can do that, if you can accept that your Western legal arguments are about as useful as a chocolate teapot in a Bangkok boardroom, you might just find that living in Thailand is rather wonderful. After all, the queues are long, the paperwork is endless, and the logic is inscrutable. Nevertheless, the curry is fantastic, and some things are worth the hassle. Take care, and remember, the Minister of Interior is not losing any sleep over an expat's Facebook rant, but that expat may certainly be. Now, I have a 90-day report to file, so please bugger off. Bye-bye.